Before starting this course on career counseling, it is extremely important to understand why you should take your career choice seriously. In this video, we will help you understand the importance of making the right career choice for yourself. So, why is your career choice so important? It is important because it determines a lot of things in your life, including number 1, quality of life. Your career choice plays a huge role in deciding where you live, how flexible your life is, and the kinds of things you are able to do in your free time. Number 2, identity. Ask any elder person about their career and they will tell you about it as a part of their identity. They'll say something like, I am a journalist, instead of, I report news. Notice how everybody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And not, what do you want to do when you grow up? This shows that your career choice shapes your identity. Number 3, impact. Every human life touches thousands of other lives in so many different ways. If you select any 60-year-old person who is about to retire, take a time machine, find him as an infant, throw that infant into trash, and then come back to the present day, you'll find that a countless number of things around you have changed. So whatever career you choose, the world will be affected by it. Anything that determines your quality of life, your identity, and the impact that you make should be taken very seriously. And that includes your career choice also. So we hope that this short video could help you understand the importance of making the right career choice. Having done that, we will now move forward to start our career counseling course. We are pretty excited and we hope you are too. So, let's begin. See you.
The relief fund for the victims of the Amphan cyclone and COVID-19 by ICHE at IIEST Shibpur. You may donate through the options displayed on the screen via Google Pay, Phone Pay or UPI, or you could do an NEFT or IMPS transfer to the account details given below. Any amount of contribution is appreciated. If you're not in a position to donate, please do share and spread awareness. Thank you for your support. Welcome everyone. Welcome to day 75. Finally, yes, Diamond Jubilee. Welcome, सबको स्वागत है. Firstly to the audience, thank you for supporting us through these 75 days. Firstly, and of course, Mr. Sen for being with us through the whole thing. And I welcome him as well. Mr. Sen, thank you and welcome. And Aditya. और आज के जो guest है, of course 75 we had to bring a person who is in a position to shape the future, a teacher. So today we have Koninika De, who is a teacher, and she's also a food blogger, a foodie, a food enthusiast. So Koninika De, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you.
Firstly, मैं आपको introduce कर देता हूँ. Koninika De graduated with a master's degree in zoology and is presently working as a senior secondary biology teacher and co-curricular activity in charge at Jyotirmoy Public Schooll, Sonarpur. She had previously worked in Unison World School, a residential school in Dehradun. She travelled to Japan a few years ago for an international teacher exchange program hosted by the MHRD, India and Ministry of Education, Japan. She has also been a mentor at the National Science Exhibition at Delhi and Regional Science Exhibition, Kolkata. She has set up various biodiversity projects like vermicompost unit and have even worked in Sunderbans under Nature Education Wildlife Society. As part of the Indian National Science Congress, she has presented papers on endocrinology and has been awarded by the Zoological Society of India on her work on homosexuality in animals. She was also a part of Global Education Summit held at Kolkata and a part of Indian National Teachers Congress held at IISF Lucknow. Koninika is also a trained Kathak and Bharatanatyam dancer and has acquired a degree under the Mamta Shankar Ballet Troupe. She also has a diploma in music and fine arts. She is presently part of a theatre group, Shuhan. A food connoisseur and traveller, she is one of the most popular food bloggers in Kolkata and runs a food and travel blog that is tagged as Koni's Food Wheels. And guys, that her social media handle can be found on ProBano's promotion pages and promotion posts. Do find that there. So firstly, Koninika ji, thank you so much for coming. Now that was a mouthful to read to introduce you. Now, if there's anything left, and I'm sure there is a lot left, if you can introduce yourself in your own words and address the audience, please. Thank you.
Myself, Koninika De, I love teaching. Teaching is my passion, and that's why I took up teaching. Always I wanted to be initially a doctor. That didn't work out because I didn't want it to work out. After that, I wanted to be a wildlife photographer. Again, hailing from a middle class family, my parents, I was good in studies, Bengalis are these typical nerds and their parents are always pushing them to study, study, study. So I couldn't take up wildlife photography or dance as my profession. But definitely I liked biology, I liked nature. So I took up zoology and I have been working in different environmental institutes an NGO called Nature Environment Wildlife Society, which is based in Calcutta, and they work in Sunderbans. Also, I've been a part of ATRI. I've been a part of wildlife associations like WWF. I've worked for them as well as a volunteer. And I am very fond of nature and close to nature. So my master's degree was apt. So I took up teaching so that I can spread the awareness to the next generation, the need for conserving nature and how biology is so, so important. And that's how I shape the future of the next generation. I make doctors, I make engineers, I make everything. So I'm very proud of the profession that I am in. I know people think teaching is a very boring job. I think I was just discussing some time back, over and over again, every day, the same topic, every year, the same people. But believe you me, it's a different experience altogether. every year, maybe the same context. Even for a finance person, every day you have to sit with that ledger journal every day, but it's different calculations. So every day, even though the content is same, the approach completely changes with every passing student, and they become a part of you. And when they just thank you for whatever you've done in their life, I think that makes a difference in your life. And that's why I wanted to become a teacher. So that's about me. And as for food blogging, I love to eat, again, Bengalis and their food habits, mach, bhat, and that has to be there. And that food, my father used to take me to Chinatown in Calcutta, in Tangra, every Sunday, and I used to gorge on Chinese food. So I learned about Oriental quite early, but then slowly I developed the taste of continental, and slowly I started I began to explore different cuisines. So that's when I wanted to document stuffs. I wanted to write down stuffs somewhere. So it was the best place. The digital space is the best place where you can pen down stuff and where people can see you, where people can read your experience, gain your experience. So that's how I became a food enthusiast. I started loving food to the extent of trying worms and crocodile satay in Thailand. So so yeah, so that's how my food journey has been. And since I was traveling to different parts of some parts of the world, I till now have been able to travel to 6 countries and different parts of India. So I thought let's write about travel also. What to see, what to eat. I basically work on the culinary tradition of a particular place. So that's how my blog goes. That's what I am.
Now, firstly, I want to touch upon what you said about teaching. And it's not a boring
Yes,
job, even though you are teaching the same curriculum every year, or the
absolutely.
students change. But I haven't been a teacher for too long, but I have taught a class for around 2 to 3 weeks as an internship, and I still remember those kids, a few of them by name, and I remember each and every class and the reactions when I taught them something new. And I think that's the beauty of teaching is
Absolutely.
the memories that the kids give you. And every year you come across new kids, and everybody is unique in their own way, be it the calm child or the naughty child. Everybody brings a part of their own, and they leave a part of their own in your memories. I think that's beautiful. Now, I'm a foodie as well. I mean, I don't explore food like you do. I just eat food, whatever is there. So firstly, could you talk about teaching as a career, as a full-time career? Could you talk about more, please?
Yes, I think teaching has been a very dynamic profession. Like initially, it was like a pen paper thing, like a chalk, duster, everything, a whiteboard or a blackboard. After blackboard came the green board. Then after the green board came the whiteboard. So likewise, teaching has also evolved from books to as I mean, exploring different digital spaces. And today we are smart teachers. It's very, very important to become smart teachers, technologically sound. And today, with the growing COVID situation, we were not even prepared to what to do next with the kids. So I think to become a teacher, firstly, of course, we need to understand what subject I'm going to select, what I love. That love is very, very important. See, in class 10th, I scored a perfect 100 in maths, but I didn't take up maths. 11, 12, I took up maths. I scored very well in maths. I scored a 98 in maths, yet I didn't take up maths. Why? Because that's not something that I could relate to. But biology, on the other hand, I scored a 2, 3 marks less, but I chose biology because I could relate, I could see, I could connect. So the first thing that a teacher needs to, because a teacher has to ultimately perpetuate to the next generation. So if you don't love your subject, you won't be ever able to perpetuate. I think first thing is identify your strengths. So I identified biology as my strength. Then you do a major if you're in some other place. or you can take up a MSc, a BSc, I mean, a bachelor's. So BA, BCom, or BSc, whatever you want to. After that, you do a MSc, a master's. Like nowadays, masters have entrance exam, which you have to give to qualify into the masters in that particular stream. So people generally who become biology teachers, since biology is a diverse subject, to be precise. So people can do zoology, they can do botany. I'm telling about just to become teachers, right? So zoology, botany, microbiology. These are the three places from which biology teachers, I mean, evolve. Also, there is a trend of biotechnology as a subject that have developed in the CBSE as well as the ICSE curriculum and the IG curriculum as well. So I think biotechnology is also an avenue these days, not only working in the research labs, but also you can become a teacher by just taking up a biotechnology course, a BSc, MSc, and so on and so forth. So similarly, you do a master's. And after that, the most important thing today is doing a professional course. That's a B.Ed. A B.Ed is a must today. It's a 2 years course. Initially, I did a 1 year course. I was the lucky last batch of a 1 year course. And then it became a 2 year course. So you have to take up B.Ed, no matter how boring it is and how irrelevant it is. It will teach you the science of teaching. Like you can be a born teacher. I knew I could, speak a lot, explain a lot to people. Even when I was in my master's, just after that, I took up a job as a teacher before doing my B.Ed because there's a tad bit of 8 months space in between. So I took up teaching job in St. Joseph College. That's in Bobazar. So in Calcutta itself. So over there, I used to teach, but I did not know the technicalities of teaching. But once I did my B.Ed from St. Xavier's College, I knew what the technicalities are, like where you write the date and name and blah, blah, blah. Everything, every technicality is what you learn in this professional course. So yes, a B.Ed is a must. And that's the easiest way in which you can become a teacher. I have heard some people that being a teacher is the last option. It was never a last option for me. I either wanted to become a doctor or wanted to become a teacher. So it was never a last option for me. So that's what you need to do. First, identify your strength, then go do your bachelor's, then do your master's, take up a B.Ed degree, and that's it. And if you want to enter the administration, I think it's better if you take up the M.Ed. If not, take up the MBA. I think executive MBA for administrative purpose, like to become the principal. It actually teaches you leadership qualities. So I think taking an MBA or an M.Ed is essential if you want to get into the administration. So that's all. That's what you need to do to become a teacher.
Great, fantastic. I think when you started speaking about the degrees, Aditya was like, okay, two of my questions are out of the box now. I have to think of new questions. But besides that, the one thing, and by the way, when you said B.Ed for you was 1 year, and when I wanted to do B.Ed, I was the first batch which had to deal with the 2 year course when they changed it to 2 year course.
I know, it's so boring. Come on, let's face it. It's boring.
Now, I guess we had our fun. I'll try not to speak negatively over here. But the one question I will ask before handing it over to Mr. Sen is, I did read your food blogs, your Instagram posts.
Yes.
And it's not just about taking a photo of whatever food that is you're eating, be it a delivery or any street food or whatever it is. The one unique thing I saw about you was you actually leave a piece of your personality in the description. You add a bit of what you write, and you write about how you feel, not what the food is. Everybody knows what the food is. If they want to know what the food is, they'll just go eat it themselves. But what they're here for is for you as a person, your personality. So could you talk about that, like you're adding your personality in your passion project, basically?
Yes, food has been absolutely a passion for me. And I think, as you said, that one can simply Google what a dhokla is. Like, you just Google it, like dhokla, and it comes, the description comes. But say, for instance, an African someone from Kenya coming to India to taste that particular dokla. That person can also Google what a dokla is, but then the person needs to know what the palettes are. That's what my job is, to tell them how I feel once I eat it. And that's where I think many of us who are a bit well known in this industry, they differ from the mainstream.
Right.
That's how I think a bit of studies, a bit of data is needed before you write a blog or you post a blog. You cannot know everything in the world. I don't hail from a F&B industry. I do not have a F&B background at all, but what I am sure of is to do the minimal research before I write. I don't know if you've just noticed there, I was talking about this desert called Laping, which is a desert typically made in Tibet. So many of us don't know about what Laping is, and it's not even available in Calcutta. It's available in Darjeeling. That's the nearest you can go to avail the Laping. So I have to tell people that I've eaten it, and this is the exact taste that I've got it, and that's I think will what make you, I mean, set apart from the rest of them.
Yes, absolutely. And any aspiring teachers, current teachers, I know there are a few of my classmates who are watching, and a few seniors and juniors as well. So, any aspiring teachers, any aspiring food enthusiasts, or just any food enthusiast in general, आपके अगर कोई question है, if you have any questions, you want to talk to Koninika, absolutely do post your questions or comments in the comment section. We will get to that towards the end of the podcast. And with that being said, I want to hand it over to Mr. Sen. Over to you.
Thank you, Samant. Good evening, namaskar, welcome to the show. And thank you, Koninika, to be here.
Thank you so much.
Listening to you for the last 25 odd minutes, something came to my mind. We keep saying that I'll be happy when I hit my first crore. I'll be happy when I get my first huge condominium. I'll be happy when I travel all over the world. But listening to you and looking at you, I believe you are happy now.
Absolutely.
I think that's the way to define you.
Absolutely. There may be hundreds of, problems, drawbacks at the back of my mind, but I have to put that smile for my students to see it.
Yes. So you're happy now. And
absolutely.
Everybody who's listening in on this, it's something that we must all try to be, that is, be happy now. I think that's the secret of living. Having said that, Koninika, you have traveled to about 6 countries around the world. You mentioned Thailand.
Yeah.
And I do believe I read somewhere that you have visited Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Japan is an amazing country.
Absolutely.
And it's got amazing cuisine.
Amazing.
And it goes well beyond the sushi.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Sushi is just like
samosa.
being
sushi is like samosa.
Samosa. No. That's just a part of it.
Yeah. So now, if you can tell the audience a little bit about the Japanese cuisine and the way they take care to plate it. It's a work of art.
Absolutely, it's a work of art. I think many of us in today's hospitality industry, they will agree with me that laying the table for a Japanese cuisine is one of the toughest job that they can do.
Oh yeah.
So I think I have been on a business trip to Japan, but I have explored the food. So I was in Tokyo, in Shizuoka side. So there is this small alley beside the railway station of Tokyo. It's called the Piss Alley, to be in their local language. So that's where the yakitori street in Japan is. Now, what's in yakitori? Yakitori is an organ grill, like any organ. Say, for instance, chicken or say, for instance, pig. I mean, they eat a lot of pork parts. So basically, Japanese, they believe that if an animal is cut, they just believe like Tibetans. Like if an animal is cut, all the parts have to be consumed. So they actually consume starting from the intestine to the tongue. So yakitori is the grilled version of it, and I loved yakitori, to be honest. It was amazing, and there are like shops only selling yakitori. And second that I enjoyed was the ramen. Ramen is a famous thing in Japan. So it's a bowl full of noodles with proteins and a lot of vegetables, and the broth is outstanding. Then, of course, I loved the tempura, which is the desi bhajia for us. The bhajia is their tempura.
Only
But
thing they don't deep fry it as the way we do.
yeah, absolutely. And the best part was, however, when I asked them where is the salt, because I at that point of time I was not so much into food, because I visited some 2017. They just said soy. I mean, they can't speak much of English, so they just put it on Google Translator and send it to you. And they say soy means the soy is their salt. That's how they keep so healthy and fit, and unlike us, fat and happy. So yeah. And
Yeah.
also I love their the grills that they do, and especially the way they sit. I was very privileged to also visit a ryokan. So ryokan is this place in Japan where there is a natural spring in the hotel itself. So there's a natural hot water spring. So it was a different experience where you sit on the ground, put your leg inside so that your feet is warm. They put some coal beneath, and your feet is constantly warm, and you're eating your food. The grill on the table itself, the fish getting roasted in your table itself.
Yep.
Japanese, they do not have much options for vegetarians, but then yeah, they have a lot of vegetables as well. So I was taken aback by their yakitori, sashimi, their ramen, their sushi. I tried some amazing steaks over there. I tried their omurice, which is really nice. It's wrapped in an omelette. The rice basically made of ground beef or ground pork that's wrapped in an omelette. The Japanese omelette is stupendous to eat. So I think I loved Japan.
Oh yeah, and anybody who's interested, the Japanese Tourist Board is giving a 99% discount for anyone who wants to visit Japan now.
Yes.
So there you go.
So it's a beautiful country, I would say. It's a beautiful country.
It is.
But it is absolutely. But more than that, I think Thailand is like a home to me.
Now, Thailand is a place where they do not use salt for cooking.
Absolutely, they do not use salt. But I think their galangal and the ginger, the Thai ginger, and everything makes up for it. Everything, the tamarind sauce that they use and the fish sauce that they use,
Yeah, the
their
fish
sauce
sauce,
is
that's where
actually,
the
yeah.
salt comes from.
Yeah, fish sauce. So that's where the essence and the true flavors of Thai dishes come over. Pad Thai is one of my favorite. I tried during this quarantine. I'm making a lot of Oriental food because I personally being a fan of it. So it's absolutely fun to cook Thai dishes at home. I love lemongrass also. So that actually keeps me hooked.
So there you go. There you go. So you have Thai food and you have Japanese food.
Yes.
We could not give you a blog, but we could give you a video blog on this.
No, I love talking about food. Now that you mention, I couldn't stop talking about it.
I could see that.
Yeah, even I loved visiting Malaysia and Singapore. So Malaysia also has this unique cuisine. I did try over there. That was my first revolving restaurant and my first Michelin star over there. So I tried it over there in Malaysia. And I absolutely loved the food in Malaysia because it's very similar to that of the Indian palate. That's what I can say. Because
It's
Malaysia is a mix of all culture together. So I believe it was amazing. It was amazing for me as well.
I can see both Samanth and Aditya, in their eyes, they're saying, "Oh my God, where did they get all this food from?"
No, no, I love talking about food. So don't
So,
don't don't poke me much about food.
oh, okay, no more
I'll
food.
keep on speaking.
No more food. Now let's get to wildlife.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
how did you first of all get interested in wildlife?
Yeah. In MSc, my masters, in BSc and masters, we had taken on field trips. So I was taken to Gujarat, lesser run of Kutch, and I was taken to a beautiful place, Positra National Park in Gujarat, which many people don't go to. So that's where I discovered there is way beyond what we know about marine animals. And then, of course, I have been frequently visiting I have been to Kanha National Park, and actually I have worked in Rajaji National Park, Uttarakhand. That's when I was in Uttarakhand. I was teaching over there, and I have worked along with Wildlife Institute of India on a project in Rajaji National Park on tiger spatial count. So before that, I was working in the Sunderbans on the count of marsh mongoose. That's a endemic creature that is only found in the Sundarbans. Now that it's lost due to Amphan, I don't know if those organisms will still be there or not. But I have seen an endemic creature in my life, and I've worked with it, taking weight of it, and providing food. Taking, I mean, biostatistical analyses we had to do at that point of time because I was working with this. Because actually, I told you I wanted to do wildlife, but then my goal in life changed to being a teacher. So that's how I developed, this interest in wildlife, and ever since then, I've traveled to different national parks and different wildlife sanctuaries, stayed over there. I have been in the core area. I've lived in the core area for 6 months without phone. So right now, when there was Amphan and people were cribbing about mobile phone, I was not even bothered about it because I have lived without mobile phone, without being in touch with family for 6 months. So
Yeah,
that's how I've developed, this
yeah, because
love for nature.
when you go out in the wild, that's what happens. You sort of
Absolutely.
cut off from the rest of the world.
Agreed.
There is something you mentioned that you counted tigers.
Yeah.
So tiger census is something that is very interesting, and one of the things that people look for is the pug mark.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
no two tiger has the same.
Same Pagma.
It's like a fingerprint. So,
Absolutely.
so Koninika, can you give some sort of an insight on how you do it? Usually, I believe it's the hind right leg or the left leg to
Hind.
get.
Yes, yes.
So can you?
We actually take care of the scratches made by the fold legs on the trees. They scratch generally with their pugs on the trees with their four legs, and they keep the paw down. So when we start, measuring the lengths with the tape right now we have the GPS system. Like it's easier to track a tiger because we give them some radio trackers and it's easily tracked. But the basic concept goes to measuring the distance and seeing the pug marks and following it. And as you said, no two tigers have same pug marks. So the first thing that you need to know is identify whether that's the same tiger walking or not, and that's the biggest challenge. So that's a hectic job. In my 6 months course, I could simply count two tigers, I think, when I lived in Rajaji. So there were many more. I could mark two of them only. And I have seen a tiger at, say, around 6 feet distance from me. And the tigers don't do anything. Trust me. I was standing there and the tiger was there, and they don't do anything at all. They are
They,
scared of us.
they actually ignore you.
Yeah, they ignore us simply.
And it's a lesson for all human beings that we are no one great. Everybody else ignore us.
Absolutely, they ignore you. I mean, you're standing there and they show in movies, no, they are running and this and that. But it's nothing like that because They just ignored you. They don't even consider you anyone of the jungle. So
If
they
I may
just
say,
ignored you.
they look at you with disdain.
Yes. What is this? Who is this? And what are they doing in my house?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to cover the different aspects of Koninika's journey, and it's quite fascinating. And we have got to tigers now, and the other thing she wanted to do was wildlife photography.
Yes.
Now, that is a very interesting subject.
Yes,
So
absolutely. While
can you throw some light on that?
yes, again, I have always been close to nature as a kid. I used to awe at the whole scenery when I was in Darjeeling, looking at the Kanchenjunga from a distance. And that's when I wanted to, and the best part was when I wanted to do wildlife photography, when I spotted a red panda. So I was in, I think, Sikkim at that point of time, and that's
It's a
the
very
single India
dangerous
match.
animal.
Yeah, yeah, it is dangerous. So basically, I was like, I saw a red panda and I wanted to because it was so cute. I mean, I have always been, it was really cute. But then later on, when I learned about red panda and their habits, that's when I realized they are very, very, very dangerous animals.
Very
Like if
aggressive.
they very, very aggressive, you cannot even cope up with one red panda at all. So basically, that's when I was fascinated and I wanted to, note down their behavior. Simply, I saw this another picture where an otter was yawning, and my dream is to, picture a yawning otter or a running giraffe or a roaring lion. Still, till date, my greatest dream is to visit Serengeti or Tanzania and picture them. Still, I am yet to get the gadgets, and I'm sure I'm going to get it one day. And I'm definitely going to visit Tanzania and Serengeti and stay there for, say, around 6 months. I'm going to take a sabbatical and be there for sure, because I want to.
Nothing like it.
Nothing
Nothing
like it. I'm
like
going
it.
to take a sabbatical for sure. And I'm really inspired by, I don't know, many people have not heard about her, Ratika Ramasamy. She's a wildlife photographer. And her beautiful ornithology pictures, birds flying, cuckoos, the mother cuckoo feeding the child cuckoo, and the crow throwing away eggs of the mena. I mean, that's wonderfully photographed by her. And Ratika Ramaswamy is Kalyan Verma is another one who really inspires me as a wildlife photographer. So I am kind of always looking at National Geographic. So once my picture also got featured on National Geographic, the page, of course, and I was really happy. It was a samba deer, which I spotted, and it was actually running, and the hind leg was up. So that's when I got this drive. Yes, I should take up this also because I like photographing. Although I couldn't take it up as a profession, but yes, I am very passionate about it, and I'm still going to, continue photographing those beautiful wildlife beasts whenever I'm in a jungle and whenever given
Wow.
a chance.
Wow. So there you have it. In one person, you've got so many different careers, so many of them, and you can pick and choose whichever one you want to do,
Yes.
actually.
So I
And
think teaching has helped me discover the different avenues. I believe because teaching is something like it's more or less a time bound and it's a early morning shift. I always choose schools which are early morning shifts. That's one thing for me. So the rest of the time you get for yourself, and then there is this vacation which is there where you can go out and explore a lot of stuffs. That's why I took up teaching. Another reason.
brilliant. Uh, Let me ask you 5 quick questions, which is the rapid round.
Okay.
Who's your role model?
My mother.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
Pan fried noodles and momos.
Okay. What's your favorite place?
Uh, Serengeti and Tanzania and Greece.
Okay, got three places. Fine. Okay. What's your most proud moment?
Visiting as a representative in the International Teacher Exchange Program amongst global scale. Only 13 teachers were selected, and I was one of them, and the youngest till date to participate in an international exchange program.
Wow. So now the last question is, what's been your most embarrassing moment?
Embarrassing moment. Uh, Many. I don't know. There has been many, and the most, of course. When I knew an answer in the interview session of Wildlife Institute of India and I could not answer it. And when I came out and I said, sure, I couldn't, and I couldn't get through, that was my most embarrassing moment.
Over to you, Aditya, now.
Thank you, Mr. Sen, and thank you so much, Koninika. It has been a wonderful conversation with you. Till
Thank
now, I've been just listening to you. And first of all, one thing, which none of us pointed out till now, which we have to, I think, right now, is that you're a great advocate for amazing communication skills. The way you speak, I was just learning. I think, so whenever I'll tell you one nice, interesting thing. So whenever I do this podcast, my parents very actively watch it, right? So they'll always tell me, "Arey, you speak too fast, you speak too fast." So, which I do, I know, right?
yeah.
So then you have to, kind of look at other people who are speaking. So they always ask me to learn from Mr. Sen, and I keep doing that. But I think, I need to learn from you also. The way you're speaking, how clear your pronunciation is with everything. It's amazing, I think. And
Thank you.
another amazing thing about you is that you're so cheerful, as Mr. Sen told that also. You're very cheerful and you have so many passions. So there is dance, which you mentioned as a hobby. Then there is food,
Yes.
which we saw right now, how passionate you are about it.
Aditya,
Then
I
there is
left the
Yeah.
teaching.
dance part for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there is photography, and then there is obviously wildlife, which is your main subject.
Yes.
Now, Koninika, we have already covered teacher. We have already covered a bit of food blogger. I want to kind of delve deep into that right now. So, when you started your food blogging outlet, so what led you to start it, and when did you start it? Because you are already a teacher, and you don't need to take extra burden. Why did you start it, and what was the thought behind starting it?
My father has been another inspiring person. My role model is my mother as well as my father. So my father said, till 35 years of age is the time when you're going to actually work. And after that is the time that you're going to rest. So I
Hmm.
took up that thing that I'm going to use each second of my life to learn new things. So that's when I decided that, okay, teaching is there, definitely there. But what if I can earn my own wildlife gadget, I mean, my camera with my teaching salary, or maybe learn something new about, food or anything. I have a quest for learning. I always, my friends call me a bookworm. I'm always sitting with books. So, I mean, I'm always trying to know something new. So, this quest for learning actually told me that I should start learning about food because I enjoy it. So, I told you the first thing that you need to know your call. And food was one of my call, even though my professionally I was kind of stable. So, I thought that there are a lot of people who don't know about things as I was earlier. So now that I know, let's inform them. That's also a part of teaching. I'm always, in the process of, perpetuating information everywhere. So similarly, that's when I thought that I should actually start writing about it. That will enhance my writing skills as well because I have to, take up English medium as my teaching medium. So why not, give a spark to it? Because initially in my school days, I was a debater. So why not, use those, skills again to enhance everything. So I again started to begin writing by developing my flair in that particular language, as well as knowing new things. And that's how I started our food blogging. And obviously, there were people who pushed me to open a blog. Initially, I used to go to restaurants, review on Zomato, that's all. But now that there were people who forced me, who told me it's high time you should open a blog. One of them is, of course, a very special person in my life. He's also a food blogger. He's my fiance, so he's also a food blogger. So we both started this beautiful journey together. He has his own blog, I have my own blog, and that's how we developed as I developed as a food blogger. And we go to different places now. We review the food. We tell people. My main aim was to let people know about the different food that is available. That was my main aim in life.
Amazing. And now that you talked about skills, I really, because so there are a lot of skills apart from obviously, expressing your taste for food. So you already mentioned writing skills, which improve a lot. Then you have done great marketing also. Getting 11,000 followers is not an easy job. We are still
Yes,
struggling at somewhere around
yes,
500 on Instagram. We are not even
yes.
500. We are lower than that. So I understand how difficult a job that is.
It is
And
very difficult.
right. And then you have to go outside, obviously you have to invest a bit of your own money into buying the food that you are eating. And, there's a lot
Thankfully,
of stuff. Uh,
thankfully, food is sponsored now.
yeah, great. That's amazing. See, that's the advantage of being a food blogger, I think.
Food is sponsored now. That's a
Yeah,
good
amazing.
thing.
I wish we could get that, but yeah, for that we have to also do some good food
Yeah,
blogging.
I always tell people that you should actually start going out and writing, and that's how you become a food blogger. And once you become a food blogger, everything is free. Yeah.
And it also involves a bit of photography skills. So,
Yes,
how
yes,
did you
yes.
build those skills? Like
I
these all
told
skills
you
which are.
I have always been I have a knack for photography always, and understanding the food frames were very important. Now, food photography, unlike wildlife photography, they are two different aspects altogether. Even street photography is different. So, in food, basically, you need to highlight the ingredients, and I have seen likes of Alok Verma. Alok Verma is one of the great food stylists in India, I think. One of the great food stylists. I've seen how he photographs food. So I use my Realme XT, and I have my own, Canon, so which I use right away. And as I told you, that myself and Deepaman, we walk together. So he does the photography part, and I generally do the writing part. So we both write, and my photographic skills were, however, more enhanced by learning from great photographers. Like I have learned from someone called Saurav Das Gupta. I've learned someone from the Shubham Paul, who has really helped me. These are photographers. Oendrila Bhol, who has really helped me become food photographers. They have taught me the essence of it, like what you need to highlight. I didn't know what an ISO was initially, what an ISO was, and what a shutter speed is. I had no clue about it. So these are the people who told me how to adjust light, because initially I was just doing it through my mobile phone. So once I brought my gadget, so that's how when I decided that I have to learn every aspect of it. And that's again my quest for learning has taught me become a food photographer. Today. Today I do food as well as travel as well.
And that is amazing. The amount of skills you have built just, in such a short time. And Koninika, this is a question which today I was asked in a morning session which I was taking with a few students. And this question keeps coming up, very common question, but very difficult one to answer. I have my own answer to it, but I'm pretty sure you'll answer it much better than me because you have many more talents. Now, somebody asked me, if I have a lot of talents, so with you, let's say, photography, dance, food. Again, you can review food. You have good writing skills, good spoken English. You can teach well. You are an educator. Then you have your knowledge about zoology. How do you choose between so many careers which you have, options of choosing? How do you choose one or two or three?
I will tell you how I chose. I told you first, you have to understand what scenario you are in. if you're in a good you have a good financial backup, then choose something that you're very passionate about, because things you're passionate about will take time to build up. But if you have an immediate requirement to support your family financially, which I had, so being the only person who could help my family, so I thought the easiest way was to get a job, and getting a job was teaching for me because that was my calling. So similarly, I did the necessary degrees and took up uh, teaching. So, and after that, when I became a bit stable, balancing everything at a go, I decided now I have enough, resources to take care of the rest of my passion. So that's how I chose. And I think you have to first understand what situation you are in and then decide what your calling is.
That's really nice. I think that's another varied perspective we got. It's very important, guys, whoever is watching in the audience, to look at the financial perspective also. It's passion mixed with practicality. And your life is not over. So it's not like, you have to pursue your passion by the time you're 18. As Koninika says, you can pursue your passion whenever you want
I
to.
I I just took up food blogging after my masters, like say when I was 23, and it was a baby then. Today I am 29, and I'm still developing. So there is no age to develop your passion. Passion will wait. Profession won't.
Very true. I think that's great advice. That's a great quote also. That passion can wait, profession won't. I think we have to release that on ProBano with your name on it.
Thanks.
And Samant is writing a book on quotes we get in the podcast, by the way. So I'm pretty sure that will qualify for Samant's book. I'm pretty
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
And Korinika, last question from me, after which we can move to Samant.
Yeah.
Um, which is, I've seen you being very cheerful, throughout this conversation, and even when I've seen you. So now, Mr. Sain obviously addressed the part that we should be happy, but I want to understand, how are you so happy? Is it is the secret the food that you eat? Is the secret that your food is sponsored, but earlier probably it was not? So yeah.
Yeah. I think happiness is a quotient that you have to develop from inside. There may, as I told you, there may be hundreds of thoughts battling at behind your mind, but what is important is to put that smile on your face when you're speaking. And that's what I have learned from my guru, who was my theater guru. I have been in an intermittent part of Bengali theater, and Sri Rama Prasad Bonik, he has been instrumental in shaping a lot of my personality. I used to be this introvert when I was in class 2, but things happened. I changed myself completely, and he's been one of them. So, Sri Rama Prasad Bonik had once told me an actor puts up different moods on his or her face. And to feel that mood, you have to feel that from inside. So, if I am not happy from inside, I will not be able to spread that smile and that happiness. And that is very important when I'm dealing with my next generation. If they see my swollen face early in the morning, no one will be able to relate to me and talk to me. And I happen to be quite popular among students, so they will say, they will not be like that, Koninika ma'am, Koninika ma'am. But yes, that one word ma'am makes all the difference in my life and brings all the smile on my face. And when people write that ma'am, you did make the difference, that is when everything changes about me.
That is amazing. And I think you're a theater artist also. What have you left for us?
Yes.
कुछ तो छोड़ दो
No,
हमारे
no,
लिए.
no,
But that
no,
is
no,
amazing.
no.
The amount of the amount of skills, that the number of skills in fact that you have, and the way you have
Actually,
such a quest for learning.
I'll tell you something. It was my parents who pushed me from 3 years of age to everything, because they wanted me to choose what I wanted to do. Like, they put me in dance. I learned three form of dance. I was into music. I was into fine arts. I was into theater. Uh, So I was into basketball. I have been a national basketball player as well. So let me tell you that also.
Wow.
So yeah,
Well.
yeah, I used to be there. Then my ligament tore. See, my one of my avenues closed. My ligament tore, and it was a huge thing. For 3 years, I wasn't able to walk properly. So that actually closed one avenue. But since I had so many more other options, I could take up another one. So this is very, very important. So when you are young, that nurturing part, especially to the parents, I say this, the nurturing, the guidance is very, very important, so that your child can select what he or she wants to become when they grow up.
That is amazing. I think the parents and the students and the school which you teach in, all of them are very lucky to have you as a teacher, because somebody who has exposure to so many avenues, somebody who has done so many things in so many fields. I think you can give them some great career advice which they will surely need sometime in the future. So
I
yeah, I
just want to
think
add
it's a great
something
thing.
to what Koninika said.
Yeah, what you
The way
saying?
you nurture people is you tell them when you grow up, you should be happy.
Absolutely.
Aditya.
And now Koninika has also shared with us her secret to this smile and this positive energy that she spreads. So I think we also know now how she is so happy and how we can use her secret to be happy in our own lives. And this is a great learning experience, Koninika. Thank you so much for being here with us. And
Thank
I'll
you.
transfer it back to Sawan.
हाँ सो सॉरी मैं पिछला 15 मिनट सुन नहीं रहा था. आई वाज जस्ट कॉट अप ऑन स्पॉन्सर्ड फ्रूट फ्री फूड. वेयर डू आई साइन अप?
No, you can't sign up anywhere. You have to work, hard work. There is no alternative to anything. Right? People will recognize you and they will send sponsored food to you for sure for them to promote it.
Yes, definitely. And before we end today's question, I want to bring it back to teaching. And this one line that you told me actually मेरे दिमाग में अटक गया था since the very start, since the very beginning. Is obviously थोड़ा personal bias भी है, since I am a teacher as well. I have to bring it back to teaching. But one quote, I want to read out my own quote before, to provide a little bit of context to this question. Is what I say is a teacher's speciality is not that he is trained or qualified. It is the ability to paint a picture of dreams and aspirations with his words. Now, and also one thing that you said was, as a teacher, you inspire the next generation. As a lover of animals, as a lover of nature, you inspire the next generation in what you teach. And you don't teach the content, because content is available everywhere. It's on the internet, it's on whatever learning sites. But what a teacher does is inspire the generation, the next generation, the students. Can you talk about that, the role of a teacher?
Yes. I think when we were doing B.Ed, I was taught that teacher is a role model. And from that day onwards, I kept it in my mind, I have to be a role model. When Mr. Sen asked me about my role model, I was kind of concerned that who is my role model. Then I realized it was my mother. I still didn't, didn't realize it all these years. But another role model for me has been my biology teacher, for whom I wanted to become a teacher myself. Mrs. Chakraborty, she was in my school. She was like my mother. I wanted to become like her. So basically, a teacher inspires in the sense you are watched. Like once you enter the class, you are watched everywhere, from what you're wearing to how you're speaking to what you're speaking. So the first day is the day when you're going to make the rapport. It's said no. The morning shows the day. So that's what I believe, that the first day is the most important day. And if you make a mark on the first day, students will be followers. And yes, and I just don't believe that content is everything. There are teachers, there are better knowledgeable teachers than me, who have a lot of knowledge, who have a lot of experience, But what is very important for me is how I interact with them. They are scared of me. Like when I walk in the corridor, they are like Koninika ma'am and they're inside the class. And they love me to the extent of which they share their personal problems from family to boyfriends. So that's where my role is, my role of a facilitator. I am going to facilitate the content, moral values, as well as inspire them so that tomorrow when Mr. Sen asks one of my students who the role model is, they can tell that it is Koninika ma'am.
Got that?
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And of course, one thing, there are a few comments, and most of them, of course, the comment question being, there's so much to learn from you, be it teaching or okay, there's a whole list, there's a plethora of things that you're excellent at. I'm not going to list down it again, all of that, the conversation did that. But how do our audience get in touch with you? How do they connect with you to learn about anything?
So it's simple. I am always available on Facebook. I am a social media influencer, not influencer. So I am available on social media 24/7. Messenger works. You can drop me a messenger text, or you can simply go to my Instagram page. It's Koni's Food Wheels again. You can go there. My profile is Koninika Day, or Koni's Food Wheels is my page. You can drop in. And if you want to get in touch with me, for some reason or the other, I have been this agony aunt since I was young. So you can just talk to me. We can share numbers. We can talk to each other for sure. For any advice, I'm available.
Great. And guys, Koninika ji's profiles, the social media handles are tagged on ProBano's posts, posted today afternoon. And before we end, I do want to read out two quotes from you. Of course, the one is, my job as a teacher is to inspire the next generation to love and protect nature. That's one. And the second one being, passion can wait, profession won't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. These are the two things that have motivated me all throughout.
Beautiful. And guys, with that being said, thank you so much for coming, to all the audience members. Thank you for watching. And on this Diamond Jubilee, if I'm getting that right, 75 Diamond Jubilee, yes. On this Diamond Jubilee, I want to, as a teacher myself, I want to pay tribute to all the teachers out there and my teachers as well. Tribute for your contribution and the impact that you have made in all of our lives. With that, thank you so much everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you the audience. Mr. Sen, Aditya, congratulations to both of you for 75. And most importantly, Koninika ji, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for taking the time and bearing with us for 1 hour.
Thank you.
And so guys,
it was lovely. It was lovely. Lovely interacting with all of you. And Mr. Sen, I have a lot of things to learn from you for sure.
Great. So guys, take care, stay safe, wash your hands, like and follow the ProBano's Facebook page and turn on post notifications to get notified when we do go live, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch our live streams on entrepreneurship. And we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. with another guest. Take care now. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.